Which of the following driving skills are affected by the use of alcohol and/or drugs? A. Alertness. B. Coordination. C. Both of the above. C. Both of the above. Alcohol and other drugs can negatively affect a number of skills needed for safe driving, including a driver's reaction time, coordination, alertness, and ability to concentrate. A driver should A. Assume all drivers automatically obey the right-of-way rules. B. Assume most drivers obey the right-of-way rules. C. Always be prepared to yield the right-of-way. C. Always be prepared to yield the right-of-way. Although the right-of-way rules provide a guide to determine who should yield the right-of-way at an intersection, no one should assume they automatically have the right-of-way. The situation and circumstances at an intersection must always be considered. Drivers should yield their legal right-of-way if it can help prevent a collision. A conviction of driving under the influence (DUI) is determined by a blood alcohol concentration of A. 0.05%, B. 0.08%, C. 50%, B. 0.08%. Driving with a blood alcohol concentration (BAC) of 0.08% is always illegal in Tennessee. Drivers under age 21 will face stiff penalties for having a BAC as low as 0.02%. It is possible to be convicted of driving under the influence even if your BAC is below the legal limit. Which statement is true? A. You should put on your cruise control near a railroad crossing to maintain a constant speed. B. You must stop at a railroad crossing when directed to do so by a flagger or stop sign. C. You have the right-of-way at a railroad crossing and do not need to stop. B. You must stop at a railroad crossing when directed to do so by a flagger or stop sign. You must stop at a railroad crossing when directed to do so by a flagger, stop sign, or warning signal. Use caution when driving near railroad tracks.
Want to ace your DMV test? Click on the link below and get your guaranteed cheat sheet.
When merging onto the freeway, you should be driving A. At or near the speed of the freeway traffic. B. At the legal speed limit. C. More slowly than the freeway traffic. A. At or near the speed of the freeway traffic. You should enter a freeway at or near the speed of traffic, unless the speed of traffic exceeds the legal speed limit. Your license can be suspended if you are under 21 and drive with a blood alcohol level of A. 0.15% or more. B. 0.08% or more. C. Any amount. C. Any amount. There is zero tolerance for alcohol use by drivers under age 21. If you are under 21, the detection of any trace of alcohol in your system will result in stiff penalties, including the suspension of your license for 2 years. Continuous hard braking on ice and snow often A. Helps you stop faster. B. Locks the front wheels of a vehicle, causing a loss of steering. C. Keeps the brakes from freezing. B. Locks the front wheels of a vehicle, causing a loss of steering. Continuous hard braking on snow and ice can result in the locking of the front brake, causing a loss of steering. To avoid the need for excessive braking, Make sure to maintain an appropriate speed for conditions. At intersections, crosswalks, and railroad crossings, you should always A. Stop, listen, and proceed cautiously. B. Look to the sides of your vehicle to see what is coming. C. Slowly pass vehicles that seem to be stopped for no reason. B. Look to the sides of your vehicle to see what is coming. Anytime you come to a place where people may cross or enter your path, or where one line of traffic meets another, you should look to the left and right sides of your vehicle to make sure no one is coming. When you see this sign, you should A. Watch for traffic merging from the right. B. Merge right. C. Turn left. A. Watch for traffic merging from the right. Warning signs alert drivers to upcoming hazards and are usually yellow with black markings. This sign warns drivers about potential traffic merging into their lane from the right. Which of these statements is true about drugs and driving? A. Any prescription drug is safe to use if you don't feel drowsy. B. Even over-the-counter drugs can impair your driving. C. Only illegal drugs can impair your driving. B. Even over-the-counter drugs can impair your driving. Legal prescription and over-the-counter drugs can impair your ability to drive, including drugs taken for colds, hay fever, allergies, or to calm nerves or muscles. It is illegal to drive while under the influence of any drug that impairs your ability to drive safely. This law does not differentiate between illegal, prescription, or over-the-counter drugs. Which of the following factors affect an individual's absorption of alcohol? A. Weight. B. Height. C. Intelligence. A. Weight. Factors affecting a person's absorption of alcohol include the person's weight, their biological sex, the amount of food in their digestive tract, and the number of alcoholic beverages they have consumed. The only thing to do to remove alcohol from a person's system is to wait. Emergency crossovers on the interstate in Tennessee are legal to use. A. To make a U-turn when you missed your exit. B. To turn around when no other vehicles are present. C. By emergency vehicles and highway maintenance crews only. C. By emergency vehicles and highway maintenance crews only. It is illegal in Tennessee for any driver to make a U-turn on an interstate highway. Emergency crossovers on interstates are for the use of emergency vehicles and highway maintenance crews only. Where is it safe to pass another vehicle? A. Within an intersection where there are no oncoming vehicles. B. Wherever signs and/or pavement markings permit passing. C. Within a curve where there are no oncoming vehicles. B. Wherever signs and/or pavement markings permit passing. Never pass within intersections or at other intersecting points, such as parking lot entrances and alleyways. Anytime your view is blocked by a curve or a hill, you should stay in your lane and assume that there is an oncoming vehicle just out of sight. Wherever signs and/or pavement markings permit passing other vehicles, you will have to determine whether or not you have enough space to pass in a safe manner. Use your headlights on rainy, snowy, or foggy days. A. To keep your engine warm. B. So others can see your vehicle. C. To warn others of bad weather conditions. B. So others can see your vehicle. On rainy, snowy, or foggy days, It may be difficult for other drivers to see your vehicle. Under these conditions, headlights make your vehicle easier to see. If the weather requires you to turn on your windshield wipers, you must also turn on your low-beam headlights. An orange-colored sign like this means A. There is roadwork ahead. B. You must change lanes ahead. C. There is a detour ahead. A. There is roadwork ahead. Orange-colored signs indicate construction areas. Proceed with caution. Large trucks are likely to lose speed when A. Driving up long or steep hills. B. Driving in long, gradual curves. C. Driving down long, gradual hills. A. Driving up long or steep hills. Because large trucks require more time to accelerate than smaller vehicles, trucks can lose speed driving up long or steep hills. Be cautious when driving behind a large truck and be sure to give the vehicle additional space, especially when driving on an incline. If it feels like your tires have lost contact with the surface of the road, you should A. Slow down by shifting into a lower gear. B. Ease your foot off the gas pedal. C. Slow down by pumping the brakes quickly and firmly. B. Ease your foot off the gas pedal. If it feels like your tires have lost contact with the surface of the road, you should ease your foot off the gas pedal and stay off the brakes. Do not try to stop or turn until your tires are gripping the road again. From top to bottom, the following is the proper order for traffic lights. A. Red, yellow, green. B. Red, green, yellow. C. Green, red, yellow. A. Red, yellow, green. Warning signs are usually yellow with black markings. They alert you to conditions that are immediately ahead. This sign warns drivers about the presence of traffic signals at an intersection ahead. This sign means A. Slow down and yield to traffic on the main road when merging. B. Always come to a complete stop. C. Activate your turn signal and proceed into traffic at the usual speed. A. Slow down and yield to traffic on the main road when merging. A three-sided yield sign indicates that you are approaching an intersection where you must wait for vehicles on the other roadway to pass before you proceed. You do not need to come to a complete stop if you are sure that no other vehicles are coming, but you should still always slow down and enter the intersection with caution. Sudden wind gusts on highways. A. Generally affect only the movement of large vehicles. B. Only cause visibility problems. C. Can cause problems for all vehicles. C. Can cause problems for all vehicles. While it can create special problems for large vehicles, strong wind can cause problems for all drivers. Wind can lower visibility by blowing dirt and dust into the roadway, but it can sometimes also physically move a vehicle. You are driving on a one-way street. You may only turn left onto another one-way street if A. You increase your speed before the turn. B. Traffic on the street moves to the right. C. Traffic on the street moves to the left. C. Traffic on the street moves to the left. You may turn left onto a one-way street that moves to the left if there is no sign prohibiting the turn. You may not turn left onto a one-way street where traffic moves to the right. If you become drowsy while driving, you should A. Try to fight it. B. Take a break. C. Take some caffeine pills. B. Take a break. If you start to feel tired while driving, drive to the first available rest stop or service area to take a break, nap, stretch, or change drivers. You should not rely on caffeine pills or energy drinks, as these are not a replacement for rest and may make your driving even more dangerous. On a multi-lane road, a dashed yellow line next to a solid yellow line means A. Passing is prohibited from both directions. B. Passing is permitted from both directions. C. Passing is permitted only from the direction next to the dashed line. C. Passing is permitted only from the direction next to the dashed line. Where there are both solid and dashed yellow lines between lanes of traffic, only traffic directly next to the dashed line may cross the centerline to pass. Drivers next to the solid line may not pass. When you see this sign, you should stop in A. Check for vehicles only in the direction that you plan on going, then proceed. B. Let all vehicles that arrive before or after you go first. C. Check for traffic in all directions before proceeding. C. Check for traffic in all directions before proceeding. At a stop sign, you must come to a full stop and check for traffic in all directions before proceeding. The amount of alcohol in the blood is referred to as A. Implied consent, IC. B. Blood alcohol concentration, BAC. C. Rate of alcohol consumption, RAC. When a school bus is stopped ahead on your side of the road with its red lights flashing, you must A. Slow to a speed no faster than 10 miles per hour. B. Stop until the lights stop flashing. C. Change lanes and pass cautiously. B. Stop until the lights stop flashing. The flashing overhead lights and stop arm on a school bus will be activated when the bus is stopped to load or unload students. If approaching a bus using these signals, you may not proceed until the red lights have stopped flashing and the stop arm has been retracted. Never pass a school bus that is dropping off or picking up students. A school bus is stopped ahead of you in your lane with its red lights flashing. You should A. Stop and proceed when you think all of the children have exited the bus. B. Slow to 25 miles per hour and pass cautiously. C. Stop for as long as the red lights are flashing. C. Stop for as long as the red lights are flashing. When a stopped school bus is using its flashing red lights, approaching drivers must stop and remain stopped until the lights stop flashing. If the school bus is on the opposite side of a divided highway, drivers do not need to stop. This sign means A. Change in direction or narrowing of roadway. B. No right turn. C. No passing zone. A. Change in direction or narrowing of roadway. This sign warns a driver of a change in direction or a narrowing of the road. A driver may find several of these signs on the outside of a sharp curve or on approaches to a narrow bridge. As your speed increases, it is important to A. Turn on your headlights. B. Look well ahead of your vehicle. C. Change lanes frequently. B. Look well ahead of your vehicle. Your vehicle's stopping distance increases as your speed increases. When driving at high speeds, it is important to look well ahead of your vehicle to allow yourself space to safely react to hazardous situations. If you come to an intersection controlled by a flashing yellow light, you must A. Wait for the green light before proceeding. B. Slow down and cross the intersection carefully. C. Stop before crossing the intersection. B. Slow down and cross the intersection carefully. A flashing yellow traffic light means drivers must slow down, be more aware, and proceed with caution. Be alert to crossing traffic and pedestrians.